YouTube? It's Amanda coming at you. Honestly, I should have gotten all my stuff together. I still don't know what week I'm on. I know that I'm almost 7 months post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I had my procedure done on March the 10th of this year with Dr. John Tuliadis at Grandview Medical Center here in Birmingham, Alabama. My high weight was 260 pounds. My weight on the day of surgery was 244 pounds. Today, I come at you over 6 months out, almost 7 months post-op, and I'm down to 186 pounds. There's several things that I would like to talk about today. One of the first ones being, every time I've come to you in the past few videos, it's all been about the mental struggle, and the mental struggle is real, y'all. It's an everyday, real feeling, problem that we go through. It's a daily struggle, and you really have to think about why you started this whole journey to begin with. I find myself looking at that probably every single day, thinking, I've got to keep eating right, and I've got to stay on plan, and I've got to drink my water, and I've got to take my vitamins, and I've got to get some exercise. And I feel like it's a test. Let me explain what I mean by that. It's a test in that, fat brain says you're never going to lose the weight. Like, if you stall, your fat brain tells you, like, you're done losing weight, you're at where you're going to be for the rest of your life, you're going to eventually gain it all back anyway, so you might as well just have that piece of cake or that brownie or that ice cream or whatever it is that you're tempting yourself with, or someone else is tempting you with. And so it's a test in the sense that you have all these temptations in your face every single day. Breads and pasta and rice and chocolate and, candy and just all kinds of stuff. But it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to allow those temptations and that food and that junk and those feelings that that food gives you to rule your decision. I'm not perfect by any means, and most people that do YouTube videos after they have the surgery say the same thing. I make mistakes. I try not to make daily mistakes. I keep seeing and hearing the sentence, be healthier than you were yesterday. That's a good goal to have, because as long as I'm healthier than I was the day before, then I'll always be okay. Because if I do horrible, if I do horrible today, well, tomorrow I just do better. With that being said, that's really the big thing that I want to talk about, because I know a lot of people struggle with the mental struggle side of the VSG. And, after all, we are having surgery on our stomachs, not on our minds. And so the next thing I want to talk about is I have really been trying my best to see the weight loss in myself instead of just in pictures. If you are pre-op, you will understand what I'm saying after the surgery. When I look in the mirror, I struggle with still seeing that 260 pound person, and I critique every single aspect of my body. And now I feel like I maybe even critique my body more than I used to, because now I have loose skin. Now I have spots where I know, like my back fat, for instance, like right under my bra line, I had that roll there for so long, and now it's not so much a roll as it is a curve, and I don't like it. Like, I felt like once I lose that roll, I'll enjoy the curve. Well, now I'm just like, I don't like that either. So one thing that I have still struggled with is getting to the gym. I have no motivation, and I know that if I just go, I would have a good time and I would enjoy my workout, but that's the problem. I have no motivation to get to the gym. I've been really tired lately. When I say really tired, I mean like only getting probably like 6.5 hours of sleep a night when I'm working, or even on my, like, this is my off week and I've picked up a lot of extra shifts and things like that, trying to learn some new stuff, but I'm still exhausted. Like, I'm physically exhausted. I have very little energy. I'm still eating right. I'm eating small meals a few times a day. I do notice that if I'm not paying attention to what I'm eating, like if I make myself a snack or something, if I sit and surf Facebook or sit down with other people and I'm sitting there talking and I'm not really paying attention to what I'm eating, I have the tendency to overeat. But I'm also learning that I can control that. And so that's one of those situations. It's like, okay, I have control over that, but I have to be paying attention in order to have control over that. So I try my best to eat when it's just me. The exception is going to be like when you go to lunch with your work friends, or when you go to lunch with your family or whatever. I mean, I have to eat around other people, but what I'm saying is I have to like focus on that and say, okay, I know I've got to pay attention to this. Like, I've got to know when to stop. And so I just eat slower and I eat smaller bites. That also, I do that also because I don't like to finish first and just be sitting there watching everybody else eat. And I'm tempted to eat more. Like, I know I'm full and I've had my whole hiccup, whatever. I have this problem. Whenever I get full, I hiccup and I burp and I get these really weird hiccups, like where it's like really hard and it like jerks me back. So that's another way that I know that I'm full. And so once that happens, I literally push my plate away from me. But if I'm sitting there with a lot of other people, especially like dinner with my family and stuff, I'm tempted to nibble, and I've noticed that. So I have to be conscious of that, and I have to stop myself before I start doing that. And so usually that's like if we're out to eat, I'll ask for a to-go box, and then I know that I can just put it in the box and like kind of out of sight, out of mind type mentality. But back to what I was saying about the whole I forgot what I was saying now. I got off on that rant. Just being mindful. Just like I said, whenever I eat like a snack or whatever at home, I like to get my snack and I like to sit at the kitchen table and I like to think about what I'm eating and kind of calculate in my head, okay, I know I'm going to have this for dinner, okay, that's going to be this many, whatever, carbs, whatever. And just being aware of that and making those conscious decisions has really helped me. I've really been loving cottage cheese and diced up strawberries. It's very filling to me. It's very delicious. I don't know exactly how much protein it has in it, but I tried yesterday. Y'all, I took a scoop of Gene Pro and I mixed it in with cottage cheese and 1 pack of Truvia, and I diced up a pear and put in there. No, pears are not suitable for cottage cheese, or cottage cheese is not suitable for pears, because I didn't like it at all. And I don't know if it was the Gene Pro. I think it was the Gene Pro. I think I could have tolerated the cottage cheese and the pears without the Gene Pro, but the Gene Pro kind of added this texture, and it also added this kind of funky, weird, I don't even know. And so I was like, no, I can't do it. I ended up wasting half a cup of cottage cheese because I couldn't do it. It didn't taste good. So I don't know if y'all can notice or not, but I got a new haircut. I got highlights. Yeah, I did that a couple of weeks ago, actually. I've been really, really busy. Really, really busy. So that's why I haven't made any videos. Like I said, I'm picking up some extra shifts. I have a degree in cybersecurity, and so on on a whim, I talked to the security manager to find out, like, hey, you know, what's it going to take to get on your team, because that's what I want to do with my career. And he was like, hey, you know, I mean, we always need help, and we don't necessarily have a position right now, but, you know, if you want in on some of the things that we're working on, sure, you know, we'll let you kind of shadow us, basically, in a sense, attend their meetings and things like that. So I get to hear what's going on with their team. I get to see what they're doing. It's definitely kind of like a shadowing. I am doing some like a project I took on just because I care about the security of the hospital, but I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. You know, it's one of those things, like, nothing's for free. I'm not, you know, best case scenario would be I do all this whatever and hang out with them for, you know, 6 months, whatever, and probably not even that long, probably like 3 months, and get a little bit extra overtime, but also I'm learning the whole time I'm there. And so then if a position does come available, then, you know, I pretty much, at that point I qualify, and then I can be a possible candidate for the position. So for me, it's exciting because I'm learning something new, and I love learning stuff new, like new stuff, but it's interesting too to see how it's going to play out. So anyway, I want to talk about my weight loss, because for me, y'all, it's been huge. In the past few days, I have lost several pounds. And so kind of like a backstory, if you remember last time I came to you, I think I was getting over bronchitis and a sinus infection. And I was kind of stuck at a weight, I think it was like 193, I can't remember, I think it was 193, but I stayed there for like 3 weeks, over 3 weeks, and I think it had a lot to do with me getting the steroid shot, and I think it made me bloated, and I think it made my body hold on to the water, and because I have been TTing a whole lot in the past week, and I have lost like 5 pounds, about 5 pounds, because after the 3.5 week stall, the scale did go down to like 191, 191.6, whatever, and then it was like in the past few days, I've noticed, like, I went to 189, and then it went down to like 187 point something, skipped 188 altogether. And yesterday I was like 186.8, and this morning I woke up and I'm 186.0. So I'm definitely losing, I feel like, a lot of water weight. I'm feeling lighter. I'm hoping that I can get some energy and motivation back in my life, because I really need to get to the gym, and I have that desire, but I don't have the motivation, and I don't know where to find the motivation, and it may just be like every other thing that I deal with. For me, I'm going to have to make myself go to the gym, and I'm going to have to make myself walk into that gym and make myself go, you know, and get on the machines and do the workout and make myself do it that one time, and then I'll get back in the routine. I don't know. I think I'm going to try making myself on Monday of this coming up week, because I like Monday night, so it'll be like actually Tuesday morning, and I'm going to try my best to do that. I just don't have time for it today. I don't have time for it tomorrow, but I have still been getting in my walks with the dog. On the mornings that I've been going into work on my off weeks, I haven't walked the dog, but I do get plenty of walking around the hospital. Like, I've been getting over 7,000 steps a day when I'm at the hospital, so for me that's good. And you know, I guess it's all about balance. Like, it's all about balance. Being over 6 months out, you know, it's a known, most people say, like, you lose your restriction. I don't know so much if you lose your restriction or if you just get used to the amount of food that you're eating, and so you don't really have to worry about, you know, trying to eat too much or whatever. That's something that I have thought about, is, you know, I see a lot of people doing like the restarts, and you know, doing 2 and 4 and 5 days straight liquids, full liquids. But for me, that's just not for me right now. I have no desire to do that. I'm still losing. I'm not at a stall. I'm not, you know, I'm not struggling with foods. So for me, I don't need to do that. Maybe eventually. No, I have considered it. I did consider it. The Celebrity Sleevers group was doing the 20 or 48 hour liquid diet, kind of a restart type thing, and I really wanted to join them, but then that number just kept going down, and I was like, no, right now's not the time for me. You know, I'll do it when I get to that point where I feel like I have to do it. But excuse me. One thing that I do know that I need to start doing is tracking my food a lot better, because that kind of goes back to the issue of, you know, maybe possibly overeating. Now I do measure out my cottage cheese whenever I have it. I measure exactly a half a cup, because I know that is so delicious, and it's one of my favorite foods right now, and one of my favorite snacks. And so I know that if I don't measure it out, I would eat more than I should, because it's so delicious. But and I usually only eat about 3 strawberries. I cut them into like slices or whatever, and then I sprinkle 1 pack of Truvia over it all and mix it all together. And for me, it's delicious. But let me think. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about right this second? I don't think so. So I'm gonna go in here to Target and get a few things. I'm gonna get my Starbucks, my espresso over ice, or I might get an Americano and add protein powder. Wait, no, I won't do that because I didn't bring my protein powder. But either way it goes, I'm gonna get a protein coffee. I haven't eaten anything today. I just haven't felt like eating anything. My son woke up this morning throwing up, and that kind of turned me off to food because he had just eaten a big bowl of sweet apple cinnamon toast crunch or something like that, and it was just like, whoa. I saw him throwing up, and then I had to clean the throw up bucket, and then I had to like take care of him, and so just not feeling food today. So maybe today will be a mostly liquid day. Maybe this will be my first day of liquid diet. No, because I know I'm gonna eat later. I'm gonna make some Fathead pizza pockets for dinner, and we're gonna have a Caesar salad with that. And so yeah, so that's our plan for today. I've got a meal planned for the rest of this week and next week, and I'm going to get groceries today for that. So I'm gonna hit up Target for a few things, mostly household stuff here, and then I'm gonna go to Aldi, and then I gotta go to Publix and Walmart. And so yeah, so I will hopefully add to this video. I wanted to give y'all a Starbucks hack. So for us that have been sleeved and we can't have all the sugar and all the carbs and junk that's in all of their pumpkin spice this and salted caramel that, and you just don't know how bad that depresses me, and especially because today they had samples of a pumpkin spice frappuccino, and I thought, oh, it's just a little, there's no telling how much sugar is in that little bitty cup. It's probably about an ounce, if that. Anyway, I took the sample. I'm not gonna lie, I did, because I wanted to taste it. Oh, I haven't had one in so long. Anyway, it's one of those situations where I know I can't have a pumpkin spice latte, but hey, I can have a taste of one, and it's free. So anyway, my Starbucks hack is, this is a Trenta Starbucks cup. So I get a Trenta cup with 3 shots of espresso over ice. Now, if you don't want the caffeine, all you have to do is say 3 shots of espresso decaf over ice, and then pour an entire Premier protein shake. I do vanilla sometimes, I do caramel. It just really depends on which one I have with me that day. Today I bought some vanilla at Target, so I just went ahead and grabbed one of those out of my bag and poured it over my espresso and stirred it up really good. And it's like $2.84, I think. That's it. Plus, of course, the protein shake. But I'm talking about just your purchase from Starbucks. So I used to go in there and I could spend $7 on one drink. I really could. You know, by the time you add all the extra shots and all the different flavors and the different, like I always got the biggest one. So yeah, it's just, that's my Starbucks hack.